Today on Public Eye News, Frost initiates human donor research with dual labs, and Northern Lights dining facility is revealed.
Later, Ross Ray will have the latest forecast, and Caleb will be back with your sports. Hi, I'm Grant Lukens.
And I'm Caleb Rydell. Welcome to Public Eye News. NMU's Forensic Research Outdoor Station, or FROST Lab, has become fully operational and is looking to get more students quickly trained so that they can fully utilize the lab. The FROST Lab is a body farm that allows those involved to observe decomposition patterns in cold climates. This is much different than in warmer climates where there is constant change to the ecosystem, such as bugs, constant change to weather and humidity, and more. The station contains two different labs in it, one for processing the bones and another for analyzing them and seeing the effects of the environment. At Northern Michigan University, a new dining facility has finally opened. Delayed by equipment deliveries and over 4 months of construction, Northern Lights Dining has officially opened. The facility opened Friday the 21st after many weeks of a buffet-style service to allow them to finish getting the equipment ready. The facility has 10 micro-restaurants in it that all provide a different style or region of food. The opening of the Northern Lights has also cut back the hours of the cafe, which was a takeout food service for students right outside of the dining facility.
One person has died in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan from the adenovirus on Thursday. The virus starts with flu-like symptoms but can develop into bronchitis or pneumonia. Theresa Frankovich says that there have been no hospitalized cases for the past 2 weeks, but cases could still emerge. People ill with respiratory symptoms should consider contacting their doctor to get checked out. Munising says they've had a successful summer in terms of tourism. Munising says that they usually get around 785,000 visitors who generate $35 million for the city. With the fall colors, tourism is boosted from around 100 busy days to around 115 busy days. The Munising Chamber of Commerce credits the fall colors and social media for the increased tourism.
On Saturday, October 13th, the North Star Montessori Academy is having their third annual 5K and 1 mile fun run. The event will begin at the Academy on Wright Street in Marquette, and registration for the event will be from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. After registration, buses will take participants to Forestville Trailhead. After the event, they will have a potluck and a raffle drawing at the school. This event helps raise money for the purchasing of new equipment by the school to enrich the lives of the students. Hunting season is closing in, and as folks prepare their gear and equipment, the Marquette Sheriff's Office are offering several reminders to make sure hunters are conducting themselves safely. Firearm safety is extremely important. Pay attention to your surroundings and to wear orange clothing to help with visibility. If you are in a tree blind, make sure to not climb in and out of the blind with your weapon in hand. Use a rope to pull the weapon up separately. And when you are out hunting, always carry a map, compass, GPS, or cell phone so that you know where you are and can find your way back easily. After this break, we'll have your national and international news. Stay tuned.
I've been around the world, but there's one place I keep coming back to. This week on UTR, we're back in Battle Creek for some usable bikes you can borrow, a ramen empire, and an herb adventure you won't believe. Then we bounce over to Bay City for a righteous retro attic, a candy connection, and a walk where wine makes for a really good time. It's all on the next Under the Radar Michigan.
Tonight at 9:30, Friday at 5, and Saturday at 10:30.
Welcome back. A youth leader in the Netherlands is on trial for allegedly branding children with a hot iron during a scout initiation ceremony. The prosecution said the man branded 2 letters in the backs of 3 children, ranging in ages from 11 to 13. The man's defense is that he did not realize the iron was hot and that the boys are supposed to scream in pain while being branded with ink in order to pass initiation. The Netherlands Scouting Agency has said that they will kick the man out if he is found guilty. The family of the boy who was kicked and pepper sprayed by Yakima police say they're getting ready to take the city to court. Tristan I spoke with the attorney representing the family, and he says the family wants justice for the actions taken by the officer. Yakima police say they're conducting an investigation for the use of force, but the lawyer says that's not good enough.
The conduct of the officers is it's flat out abusive and wrong.
That's attorney Bill Pickett's response from seeing a teenager get kicked in the back after already being pepper sprayed by a police officer. Police say they responded to a fight at the Central Washington State Fair with more than a dozen teens part of the melee. Officers used force to end the brawl, but Pickett says it went too far. He's representing the family of the teen who was kicked and says they're ready to file a claim in court once the investigation is completed.
When you see things like what happened on the video take place, there's a great breaking of public trust.
In response to what happened, Yakima Police has placed 31-year-old Officer Ian Cole on desk duty while the department conducts a use of force investigation. In a previous interview with KIMA, Interim Police Chief Captain Gary Jones says it could take a few weeks to determine if the actions of Cole were justified.
We have certainly a responsibility to do a thorough and complete investigation.
But Pickett says that's where the problem lies. Police investigating police. He says the investigation for justification, rather than the truth, slants everything in favor for the officers. The family wants justice, but Pickett says they also want police to be held accountable for their actions by being held to the same standard as civilians when force is used.
If you stood up and you said, I tell you what, I'll handle that myself. I'll investigate myself. Everybody would say that's other nonsense, and it's not credible.
While the video can shock people on the surface, Captain Jones says Yakima police are still collecting physical evidence and conducting interviews with witnesses to gather as much information as possible to make a proper judgment.
Certainly the community is going to hold my office and my department accountable for our actions, particularly if they're improper actions, and I will do the same for my officers.
A drive sober or get pulled over crackdown that began on August 17th throughout Michigan has posted arrests for 274 drunk drivers, citations for 56 open intoxications, and 992 citations for child restraints and seatbelts. Michigan law enforcement officers have a zero-tolerance policy for motorists that are impaired by alcohol or drugs. Other reports have indicated that officers have additionally made 95 drug arrests and 56 felony arrests. During the Labor Day holiday period, there have been 11 traffic fatalities and 11 separate traffic crashes that resulted in 2 deaths involved with alcohol. A brutal beatdown over a 12-pack. A clerk is shot multiple times with a BB gun during a robbery at a Hollywood gas station. The dramatic confrontation is caught on security cameras. KCAL 9's Tom Waite is live in Hollywood to show us that video.
Watch the woman in the yellow hoodie casually walk out the door with a 12-pack of beer and then book it. A split second later, the clerk gives chase. He comes back with the stolen beer, but this is where things get ugly. The female thief returns to confront the clerk. An argument ensues. It gets physical and the woman gets reinforcements. One of them looks like he has a handgun. As the fight goes on, the gun is pointed at the clerk. The fight escalates as the woman and man lock arms. He throws her down. She tears his shirt and the man with the gun comes back and starts shooting. Turns out the weapon was a BB gun, but it was fired multiple times.
He's gonna be okay. He was on the floor, and the other clerk was helping him out.
The owner of the shop was not in the store at the time this beatdown unfolded. The whole violent and disturbing scene has him wondering why anyone would behave like this.
I don't get it. They come, they still take the beer, but they, punching and shooting the guy. They take the beer and leave.
From another angle, you can see even after the shooting, the thieves continue to terrorize the clerk. This as the woman top left struggles to steal beer from the cooler. She finally gets a 12-pack of Heineken.
For a 12-pack of beer, you shoot somebody? I don't get it.
And after the break, we'll be back with your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
The 31st Hispanic Heritage Awards, celebrating Latino achievements in culture, vision, and service. This year's honorees include Sister Norma Pimentel, Jesse and Joy, Carol G, Daniel Lubetsky, and many more. Join us at the Kennedy Center with celebrity presenters and special musical guests for the 31st Hispanic Heritage Awards.
Friday night at 10 on Public TV 13.
And welcome back. My name is Ross Wright, and I'll be here with your weather today. As we look behind me, we see our wonderful Academic Mall, and unfortunately it is raining outside, but that's going to continue throughout the weekend. Let's look at our forecast. Current conditions are rain with a temperature of 50 degrees, winds south-southwest at 11 miles per hour, and a barometric pressure of 29.81 and falling. Looking at tonight, it's going to continue with more showers, a low of 45 degrees, winds west-southwest at 11 miles per hour. And these showers are going to continue on to tomorrow with a high of 50 degrees, winds north-northwest at 11 miles per hour. Let's look across our UP. Starting all the way over here in Sault Ste. Marie, we're starting at 62 degrees and cloudy. Going down to Escanaba at 61 and cloudy. Over here in, well, that's Manistee, this is Escanaba at 53 and cloudy. And going down to Menominee at 60 and cloudy. Let's look at the other half of our UP. Over here in Iron Mountain, it's going to be 50 degrees and cloudy. 58 at Ironwood with clouds. Up in Houghton with 58 and cloudy. And back here in wonderful Marquette, it's going to be 50 degrees and cloudy. Let's look at the weather ahead. On Saturday, it's going to be a high of 47, low of 36, and mostly cloudy. Sunday's going to have a high of 52, low of 42, and cloudy. And Monday will be a high of 50, low of 41, with some PM showers. Well, Caleb, it's looking pretty gloomy out there, but I also hear you have some gloomy stories about our volleyball team today.
Yeah, it's not that great. Thanks for weather, Ross. The NMU women's volleyball team is having trouble regaining their momentum from earlier this season as they lost the last 5 out of 6 games. After being at home for the last 5 games, they will be away for 6 games, starting this Friday at Ashland. This weekend will be their longest road trip of the GLIAC schedule. The Wildcats are looking to find what they had when the season began, with a 9-game win streak that ended at Saginaw Valley in a 3-1 loss. On Tuesday night, the Milwaukee Brewers have really damaged the St. Louis Cardinals' chances of making it to the playoffs this year, beating the Cardinals 12-4. Christian Yelich drove in 6 runs and had a home run. Ryan Braun went deep twice. Manny Pina had 2 hits and drove a run in. The Brewers, who are 91-67, have moved 4 games ahead of the Cardinals for the wild card. Milwaukee began the day a game behind the Chicago Cubs, while the Cardinals, who are 87-71, have a half-game lead over Colorado for the second wild card. In an NFL contract, it states that players are required to take randomly selected drug tests whenever they are requested. On Tuesday, Joe Hayden, a cornerback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, along with around 6 of his teammates, were selected to take drug tests at 3 a.m. This occurred immediately after getting off the plane that was coming home from their game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The players had to take a drug test right at the airport at a TSA checkpoint. Hayden was not happy about the timing of the test and spoke against it on Twitter, questioning why the test could not wait until the morning. Well, a little bit of trouble I hear there in for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I hear something in Maryland caught our eye.
That's right, Caleb. At the Maryland Zoo, a wild turtle may just be seen rolling up to you to say hello. The grapefruit-sized turtle requires surgery on his back legs and requires a wheelchair to walk as he heals. No one makes these tiny wheelchairs, though, so the vet had to make one out of Legos, which the turtle will be using until spring.
And that's all the time we have for you today at Public Eye News. Thanks for tuning in. We'll hope to see you here again tomorrow. Thank you.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.